Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Citi AAdvantage Executive World Elite Mastercard. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. Okay, so diving right into the main features of this card. First off, we're going to be talking about miles and how you can earn them with this card. So starting out, you will be earning 4 miles per dollar spent on eligible American airline purchases. This will, of course, have to be directly through AA.com or through their app. You cannot be booking through like Expedia or a third-party service. If you do, you will not be earning the 4 points per dollar spent. Then you can actually earn up to 5 miles per dollar spent on eligible American airline purchases after you spend at least $150,000 in a calendar year. So if you spend $150,000 in a year with this card, any transactions after that made on American Airlines transactions, you will be earning 1 more mile per dollar spent, up to 5 miles per dollar spent. Then on top of that, you can be earning 10 miles per dollar spent on eligible hotels booked through AA.com/hotels and on eligible car rentals booked through AA.com/cars. And then finally, on all other transactions, you will be earning 1 mile per dollar spent. Now, on top of that, you can also earn a spend bonus with this card as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $10,000 within the first 3 months of having this card, you will be receiving a spend bonus of 100,000 miles. That's pretty good there. Now, on top of that, you can also receive some other benefits with this card as well. So just for instance, you will be receiving your first check bag for free on American Airlines domestic flights. You're also going to be receiving a $100 credit every 4 years for global entry or TSA pre-check. You're also going to be receiving an Admirals Club membership. So with this, you're going to be receiving access to nearly 100 Admirals Club and partner lounges worldwide. Immediate family or up to 2 guests may join you as well. This is going to be a value of up to $850. You're also going to be receiving up to $120 in Lyft credits, although you will not receive that until you take at least 3 eligible rides in a calendar month. And with this, you can earn a maximum of $10 per month. So if you spend, let's say, like $30 in Lyft, you're not going to be receiving the full $30 in January. It's only going to be $10. And keep in mind, you have to ride at least 3 eligible rides first each month before you can start earning those credits. So it's going to be a pretty big drawback with that in mind. Then on top of that, you're also going to be getting 25% in savings on food and beverage purchases on American Airlines flights. You're going to be receiving $120 in Grubhub credits. This is also going to be just $10 per month. So if you spend, let's say, like $50 on Grubhub in the month of January, you're not going to receive the $50 in credits in January. Instead, you're only going to receive up to $10 for that month in January. Then on top of that, you're also going to be receiving up to $120 back on eligible Avis and budget car rentals. With this, you're going to be receiving a $1 statement credit per $1 spent on eligible Avis and budget car rental purchases, up to $120 in a calendar year. And then finally, you're going to have a $0 liability and unauthorized charges. This basically means that if you lose your card or someone steals it, and then they go off and spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on it, whether that's at a physical retail store or even online, you are not going to be held liable to pay for those charges because you did not authorize them. So now that we went over the main features of this card at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course that's also super important as well. So starting out, your purchase APR is going to be anywhere between 21.24 to 29.99% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as balance transfers go, with that, it's going to be exactly the same, 21.24 to 29.99%. So as you can see, it's probably not going to make a whole lot of sense to perform a balance transfer with this card, at least starting out, because they're not offering like a 0% introductory APR like you see with some of the other credit cards out there on the market. Now, perhaps later down the line, they might offer you a 0% APR as like a promotional offer for, let's say, like 12, 15, or 18 months. But starting out, you are going to have an APR of all the way up to 29.99%. Then as far as cash advances go on this channel, we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This, of course, should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually with them, you have a very high interest rate, plus you have to pay a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know that your APR on them is going to be a whopping 29.99%, plus a lot of fees as well, which we're going to go ahead and dive into right now. So as far as the fees go, on each cash advance, you are going to have a fee of either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as balance transfers go, even though it's not going to make a whole lot of sense to do a balance transfer starting out because your APR is not going to be like super low where you're really going to be coming out ahead on it, let's say later down the line they do have a 0% promotional offer and you decide to take advantage of that, it's still not going to be completely free because you are going to have a fee on that balance transfer. That fee is either going to be $5 or 5% of the amount of each balance transfer that you carry out, whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as other fees go, if you haven't had a late or return payment, there is going to be a fee on each late or return payment fee that's going to be up to $41. Then as far as foreign transaction fees, there are no foreign transaction fees with this card. So if you happen to travel abroad, this is definitely a card that you can take with you and you will not be hit with any extra charges. Then finally, the big fee with this card is going to be the annual fee. With this card, you are going to be paying on an annual basis $595. And if you happen to have any authorized users, for up to 3 authorized users, you're going to have an additional annual fee of $175. And then each authorized user after the third, so the 4th, 5th, and 6th user, it's going to be $175 per user after the third one. So if you have a lot of authorized users on this card, it's probably not going to make a lot of sense because you're going to be dishing out a lot of money on an annual basis for those extra cards. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the best things and the worst things about this card. So we're going to start out with the best things. We have a pretty big list here. So the first one, of course, is that 100,000 mile spend bonus, as long as you're able to spend at least $10,000 within the first 3 months. Then on top of that, you're also going to be receiving your first check bag for free. So over the course of a year, if you have a lot of check bags, you're going to be saving a lot of money with your first check bag being free. You're also going to be receiving a $100 credit every 4 years on either Global Entry or TSA PreCheck. You're also going to be receiving an Admirals Club membership. You're also going to be receiving a $120 Lyft credit. But with this, remember that you have to take at least 3 eligible rides every single month before you're eligible to receive the $10 credit each month. Then on top of that, you're also going to be receiving a $120 Grubhub credit. Once again, that is going to be just $10 per month. You're also going to be receiving up to $120 back on Avis and budget car rentals. You're going to be receiving 25% in savings on food and beverage in flight, so you can save a lot of money there. And then finally, there are no foreign transaction fees. So those are the good things about this card. As far as the drawbacks go, first off, you're only going to be earning 1 mile per dollar spent on all transactions outside of ones on American Airlines. So you're going to be losing out on a lot of miles, points, or cash back with using this card for every single transaction outside of American Airlines. You might want to consider picking up another credit card and using another credit card for those transactions outside of American Airlines. Secondly, if you plan to have a lot of authorized users with this credit card, keep in mind, once again, you have to pay $175 for the first 3 authorized users that you have. And then each authorized user after that is going to be an additional $175. So it really doesn't make too much sense to have too many authorized users with this card. Also, there's not going to be like an introductory APR on purchases or balance transfers. With other cards out there, you have like a 0% intro APR on purchases and balance transfers for, let's say, like the first 15 to 18 months. With this card, you're not offered anything like that. And then finally, you have that massive annual fee of $595. So each and every year, you're going to have to sit down and consider whether or not dishing out $595 for this card is worth it for the benefits you're taking back in. Are you getting at least $595 in value with this card? That's something that you're definitely going to have to evaluate. So just to sum things up here, if you fly on American Airlines quite a bit and you're going to max out all the credits that you're offered with this card, and you're able to hit that spend bonus, then at least for the first year, it's definitely going to be worth it for you. As far as the second year moving forward, once again, you're really going to have to max out those credits and fly on American Airlines a lot to really make this card worthwhile for you and earn enough miles to really offset that $595 annual fee. Do you fly on American Airlines a lot? In that case, it could be worthwhile for you. If you don't fly American Airlines all that much, then most likely this card is probably not going to be the best fit for you. But that's all we have for this review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.